Fun Facts presents the 1970 Monte Carlo SS 454. You would never have thought this was a classic muscle car. It was the first generation, produced in 1970 through 1972, and our focus is just that. The first generation 1970 Monte Carlo SS 454. If you're excited, I'm excited. Let's get started now. Chevrolet Monte Carlo is a two-door coupe that was manufactured and marketed by Chevrolet division of General Motors. Deriving its name from the city in Monaco, the Monte Carlo was marketed as the first personal luxury car of the Chevrolet brand. Introduced for the 1970 model year, the model line was produced across 6 generations through the years 2007, and with a hiatus from 1989 to 1994. The Monte Carlo was as closely aligned variant of the Pontiac Grand Prix through its entire production. From 1970 to 1972, the Monte Carlo used the A Special platform, with the Grand Prix shifting to the A body intermediate chassis for 73 through 1977, and for 1978 the model line underwent extensive downsizing. A major revision saw the A-body chassis redesignated as the G-body for 1981. After an abbreviated 1988 model year, the Monte Carlo was replaced by the two-door Chevrolet Lumina. Once upon a time, you could actually order the car you wanted in the manner that you wanted it. Most of us remember the time and the lament its passing. It was a time of seemingly endless possibilities and potential. Far from the 3-level option tiers you could get with modern cars, you could get all kinds of weird combinations at the stroke of your salesman's Bic crystal. A blue exterior with a green interior, a station wagon with 4-speed manual gearboxes, individually selected power assist for any number of functions, from brakes to door locks to trunk releases. There were also bewildering arrays of choices of powertrain options, the ability to mix and match engines and transmissions seemingly at will. Obviously, some combinations weren't recommended, some weren't allowed, and others just didn't make sense. There were limits. Sometimes the reasoning behind those limits isn't apparent and may not seem to make a lot of sense on the first blush. The original orderer of the Monte Carlo really wanted a 4-speed SS 454 with a 360 horsepower LS5 big block under the hood, and all of the trappings that made an SS 454 the melding of a luxury and performance that it was. Checking that box would have made this rare bird indeed. Just 3,823 SS 454 models were built in 1970. Barely a blip on Chevy's radar, and a drop in the river compared to the nearly 150,000 Monte Carlos built that year. Beyond the 10.25 to 1 compression big block, the SS 454 mandated the F41 suspension, which included heavy-duty shocks and springs, boxed lower rear control arms, a fat 11/8-inch front anti-roll bar, and a .88-inch rear anti-roll bar, and additional frame stiffeners. It also brought in the automatic level control, which added a compressor, rear leveling sensor, and rear air shocks with airline shielding, a set of 15x7 steel wheels, and turbine wheel covers with white striped G70 15 wide oval Firestones were the standard rolling stock in 1970, though most SS 454s we see today use 15x7 rally wheels that were also available. You may remember the first Monte Carlo, Chevy's first concerted effort into the personal luxury game on a car that was essentially a Chevelle underneath and on the top too, as the widescreen, backlight, and trunk lid were all shared. However, the Monte Carlo's 116-inch wheelbase chassis wasn't shared with the GMA body sedans and wagons, as you might suspect, as that made the interior too roomy and not personal enough. So Monte Carlo used a unique 116-inch chassis that moved the front wheels 4 inches forward, keeping all of the engine and transmission mounts where they were, and then added an additional 4 inches ahead of the front suspension for the in vogue long hood look. Car and Driver unkindly called it a sheet metal atrocity and seemed baffled by it until Chevrolet folks explained that the Monte Carlo was designed to bring in new buyers rather than siphon off Chevelle and Impala sales. The gambit may not have worked. Chevelle sales were down 4% for the year, while full-size Chevy sales slipped a whopping 20% year to year. How a 360 horsepower SS 454 Monte Carlo fit into the scheme that wasn't really explained. At any rate, there was only one problem that this particular buyer had attempting to order a SS 454. Although the Monte Carlo was available with a manual transmission, when combined with other engines, top-end performance model was only available with the Hydro Turbomatic 400 and auto transmission. The buyer wanted to shift for himself. How the Turbo 400 came to be the only available transmission in the SS 454's arsenal isn't certain. Perhaps an automatic was more in keeping with Monte Carlo's carefully cultivated upscale personal luxury image than a stick. Perhaps it was one more way to differentiate it from the similar but down-market Chevelle SS. Perhaps the whispered about but never arrived the LS6 version of the Monte Carlo SS 454 would have received a stick instead, giving engineers just 2 engine trans combinations to sort out for a low production model instead of 4. But this is one of those times that the option sheet wouldn't let a buyer run amok and order whatever he damn well pleased. The 1970 Chevrolet Monte Carlo was 330 horsepower at 4,800 RPM, 410 foot-pounds of torque at 32 RPM, a quarter mile in 14.9 seconds at 92 miles per hour. And the base price for the automobile was $3,123. Options on the car profiled a 400 cubic inch turbojet 4-barrel was an additional $325. Rally wheels, a Muncie M24 speed manual transmission, the G80 posi traction rear axle, the N40 power steering, and the U14 special instrumentation. So, if you found yourself this far into the article, I'm going to leave a link to the Hemmings.com website below the video so you can read the rest of the article. We'd like to thank you for taking time out of your day to watch our video, and if you like our video, please give us a thumbs up. It really does help our channel. And if you like our channel, please subscribe, because we're going to be doing all the supercars, the hybrid cars, the sports cars. We'll be doing autoramas, the muscle cars, the hot rods, a little bit of everything for everybody. So thank you again for taking the time out of your day. We hope to see you when we upload our next video, and always, always, always take good care. Thank you.